Yo, let's talk student loans, and I'm going to explain to you the way that the first Trump administration literally encouraged irresponsible student loans. All right, so what does it mean to default on a loan? Basically, what that means is you are unable to make the payments back to that loan. Let's say the government loans you $50,000 to go to school. Tremendous. Then, every month you're expected to pay 5% of that loan back. If you're unable to pay that 5% back, you will default on your loans, okay? What they are going to do is if you have defaulted on your loan, meaning you are unable to pay it, you can't afford to pay it, they're going to just start taking your money. So that's going to be 100% of your tax return. Say you get a tax return, they're going to take that entire amount, and 15% of wages after tax. So what might that look like? Let's say after taxes and everything, every month you go home with $3,500, $3,500. If they garnish 15% of your wages, you will be making less than $3,000 a month. So essentially what they're saying is they're going to do a forced repayment. Even if you cannot pay it, they're just going to take the money and you're going to have to figure out how to live otherwise. Now, what the most important thing to me to realize, is that the first time he was in office, he did things that encouraged predatory lending. This is something I am very passionate about because, man, fuck it. I was fired. I worked at a school. I worked at a higher education, post-secondary education place and was fired for pointing out the fraudulent ways with which they enroll students. The difference is there are two kinds of schools that you can go to. You can go to a for-profit school or a not-for-profit school. The tremendous majority of schools that you and I might think of, universities and colleges, are not for-profit schools. They're funded by state tax, by government, federal tax, alumni donations. They probably have sports teams that make money. They may have a sister hospital that makes money, etc., etc. Okay? Great. Employers know that if you have a degree from somewhere like Chapel Hill, a not-for-profit school, that degree is worth something. What that school's main priority is educating their student body, all right? For-profit fucking schools, of which I was fired from one because I said, this is fucking fraud. For-profit schools are going to be schools that you see a commercial for, schools that sound too good to be true, meaning go at your own pace. Oh my God, are you a single mom? Fucking log online and every 15 minutes, if your kid is taking a nap, work towards a better life. If it sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm being very fucking honest with you. If the school seems oh so turned up for you to enroll, that's sus. Why do they want you so bad? Straight up. If their admissions rate is damn near 100%, that's suspicious. That's a problem. Here's the deal. For-profit schools are going to be the ones that are entirely online. They have commercials, or they're trade schools. They're the cosmetology schools. They're the welding schools. They're the learn how to do medical shit from the computer schools. All of them are a fucking scam. Don't go to those shits. Trump University was a for-profit institution. Here's an example. During one of Obama's terms, he did something. He made it a law that for-profit schools, so let's say it's a cosmetology school, the hair school cannot make you sign something called a non-disclosure agreement. What a non-disclosure agreement is saying, no matter what happens within the walls of this place, I will not take you all to court. We will settle outside of court. Obama made that shit illegal. You can't fucking have students sign this before they enroll in your school. This made the fraudulent practices of for-profit institutions much more difficult. Why? Because they were no longer allowed to defraud students. Here's what that means. It's fraud if, when a student is inquiring about a school, if you say to them, when you graduate from here, you're going to be making six figures. If you cannot guarantee and prove that, that's fucking fraud. If you say to them, we are going to help you find job placement once you graduate, and then you don't, that's fraud. But if they signed a non-disclosure agreement, they can't sue you. Obama put that in place, that you can't force these students to fucking sign a non-disclosure. Trump got rid of that upon his first his first term. For-profit schools typically have an insanely high acceptance rate. That's because 90% of their funding of a for-profit school comes from student tuition payments. Therefore, if you can take out a loan, you're accepted into the school. Again, not trying to be mean. It's not because you're good. Okay? Hypothetical example here. Let's say there is a beauty school, right? 95% of their students are female, are women. However, then a male prospect student comes in and is like, this could be a thing because I can't find employment anywhere else. Why is that? Well, because I have a felony battery charge. I beat bitches. Oh, did the bank approve your $35,000 loan? Your tens of thousands of dollars worth of a loan? Yep. Welcome to school. The school fucking knows that you're not going to be able to succeed. And with all due respect, because the employment world is going to say, oh, where's this degree from? A for-profit school, and then wipe their ass with it, because employers understand that these schools are a business. The product that they sell you is a degree. Okay? The school is interested in making the most money as possible, not educating their student body as well as possible. Therefore, you're likely going to have not enough fucking materials. You'll be ill-equipped. You and the school are fucking ill-equipped. The staff is paid shitty. Therefore, they tend not to pour into their students that hard because, bitch, you got me on an hourly wage and I'm 45. You know what I mean? For-profit schools take 25% of all student loans given out altogether, okay? And they make up 11% of all people getting a post-secondary degree. So if you added together everybody going to a 4-year college, everybody going to community college, everybody going to uni, everybody going to this thing, that thing, added everybody together who was getting some shit post-high school, the people who go to these for-profit, typically like trade schools, online schools, X, Y, and Z, only 11% of all those people added together, 11% go to a for-profit school. For-profit schools take 25% of all federal student loan money. So when Nancy, what the fuck is her name? Nancy McMahon, Linda McMahon, when fucking Figure 4 Smackdown, whenever her ass is talking about now the taxpayers aren't going to be, we're not going to get screwed because of irresponsible student loan policies. Yeah, we are. Yes, we are. Loans are taxpayer dollars. Like, that's where that money comes from. That's what that is. And you're continuing and you're perpetuating, this administration is perpetuating these predatory fucking loans. Does any of this make sense? I'm so irritated. Folks who go to a for-profit school or are in a for-profit program are 4 times as likely to default on their loans, 4 times more likely than somebody who goes to a not-for-profit school. Why is that? That's because during his first administration, Donald Trump got rid of the Obama law that was gainful employment. What that means is for-profit schools had to prove that their graduates were better off post-graduation than pre. Meaning, no, they graduated from here and they're making this much more money. They graduated from here and they're doing this much better. Donald said, nah, y'all don't have to prove it. So these people are getting $35,000 worth of fucking loan debt, a useless degree, and they're in the same fucking place in terms of job prospects with a degree and without. Oh, BTW, Trump University had to pay out like $45 million because they defrauded students so much, meaning making all kind of false ass promises.